Chetna Gala Sinha, the founder of a unique bank which was set up by women and exclusively for women. Mandeshi Mahila Sehkari Bank is the first bank to get a cooperative license from Reserve Bank of India. Born in 1959, Chetna was raised in Mumbai's Nal Bazar. She completed her master's degree in economics from the Mumbai University. Chetna was only 17 when the emergency was declared between 1975 and 1977. Chetna was highly influenced by Jayaprakash Narayan, who was the face of the class struggle in the country. With a growing desire to become a significant citizen, Chetna joined Chhatra Yuva Sangharsh Vahini at Mumbai University. When Chetna was 23, she spent 13 days in the Yerwada jail for campaigning to change the name of Marathwada University to Ambedkar University. Her parents did worry about her marriage, but they never imposed restrictions. More importantly, because they knew that she would never listen. Her parents thought that she was a headstrong feminist. It was in 1986-87. Chetna Gala Sinha, a young lady from Mumbai, fell in love with Vijay, a dynamic farmer from a small village, Maswad, in Maharashtra, and they decided to get married. Initially, she decided to stay in Mumbai as she wasn't sure if the village life was for her. But it wasn't long before she finally decided to shift her base to Maswad and join her husband Vijay. Chetna felt a constant urge to do something for the villagers, more so for the women. It was in 1997 that Kantabai, who was a welder and worked and lived with her family on the footpath in Maswad, approached Chetna Sinha.
She came to me one day in a small village of Maharashtra, Maswad. She stays there on the road. She came and she said that I want to open a saving account. I went to all the banks, but banks are not opening my saving account. I was surprised. Why? Kantabai is not asking for cash transfers. She's not asking for any subsidy. She wants to save. And why the banks are not ready to open her account? I went with Kantabai, with the other banks, and found out. Banks said that Kantabai saves less than 5 rupees a day or less than 1 cent a day. Her account is not affordable. Then we thought, why not think of women like Kantabai and set up the bank?
It was then that Chetna decided to set up a bank for women like Kantabai. However, opening a bank didn't come easy. When Chetna went to the Reserve Bank of India, which is the central body of banking in India, her application was rejected on the grounds that some of the members were illiterate. Chetna felt disappointed that the RBI rejected her application. But the rural women said, "Why are you so sad? We are illiterate now, but we will become literate and come back." Every day for 4 months, the rural women studied after their long days at work, and soon they reapplied for the banking license. And this time, they also challenged the bank officials to see who could calculate the interest on the principal amount faster, them or the bank officials. Now, the bank officials had no reason to not grant them the license. 1,335 women pooled their savings and set up the first bank for and by the rural women in India. Initially, Chetna wanted to hire staff who were working in larger banks in the cities. But such talent wasn't willing to relocate to the village. So, Chetna started looking inward and discovered immense promise. After deploying them to training camps organized by various government agencies, she developed a highly competent, completely local staff, which also eliminated the possibility of any attrition. The bank was set up with the purpose of supporting the rural women. However, enrollments stagnated and then dwindled because the women had to walk miles to go to the bank and they had to give up the work for the day and the money. That's when Chetna started doorstep banking. They visited homes of customers and shops to help them understand how much they could save and determine the right loan amount they need for improving their businesses and increasing their income. When the digital wave swept the country, Chetna introduced digital banking. The rural women initially refused to do banking with 4-digit PIN codes. They asked her to come back with a better solution. So, Chetna introduced biometric banking using thumbprints to complete the transactions. The rural women hailed this, saying, "People can steal my PIN, but not my thumb for sure." Chetna says that one lesson she took away from that was to
Never provide poor solutions to poor people. Even if they are not educated, they will use the smartphone.
As she registered the Mandeshi Foundation, Hisab, Hunar, or Himmat became the mantra for women to advance their societal status through education, governance, or business. Chetna Gala Sinha is not ready to rest on her laurels yet, and her ultimate goal is of building an all-women bank at the global level someday.